Good morning friends. We continue with our lecture on surface area and volumes. We have seen the surface area and volumes of a cuboid and a cube, the cylinder and the cone, the sphere and the hemisphere. So we saw how to calculate volumes. Then we moved from conversion of shapes from one to another. So this lecture is in the continuation of that form, conversion of solid from one shape to another. So now let us see some practical examples. What do we have here? A diameter. A well of diameter 3 meter is dug 14 meter deep. So we are digging a well. So the well is usually in the shape of a cylinder deep in the earth. We have dug 14 meters deep. So the depth is 14 meters and the diameter of the well is 3 meter. 3 meter. So we'll write here diameter is 3 meter, means the radius is 3 by 2 meter. The depth or the height of the well is 14 meter. Now earth is taken out of it. So when you're digging the well, you're taking the earth out of it. So what is the volume of the earth removed? Let us find volume of the earth removed or the mud removed. Cylinder is what is the volume of the cylinder? Formula is pi r square h. So we have 22 by 7 into r, the radius is 3 by 2 into 3 by 2 into 14 is the height or the depth. 7 ones are 7 twos are 2 and 2 get cut, 2 ones are 2 11s are. So 11 into 3 into 3 is 99 meter square. That is the earth removed. Now what is done with the earth? It is spread evenly in the shape of a circular ring. So all the earth which is removed is now made into a circular ring around the well. It is made a circular ring around the well whose width is 4 meter. So this width here, what we have filled here, the mud we have filled in embankment, this width is 4 meter. And we have to find the height of the embankment, that is h. To how much height is it possible? So whatever earth you removed here is spread into this blue diagram which you can see. So you have to find the volume of this blue part, the embankment. So whatever mud you removed is spread. Now how will you find the volume of this embankment? So this blue color thing to find, you have got this 3 by 2 and plus 4. So 3 by 2 plus 4 is what you have got. The width is 4. Now volume of embankment should be how much? It should be volume of outer cylinder, that is the outer part, the embankment cylinder, minus the volume of the inner cylinder. This is what we should be having. So we should be having, now what is the volume of embankment? We know it is 99 meters square, but this is pi r square h. I'm writing capital R for the outer minus pi r square h. I'm writing small r for the inner. So pi and h I will take common. I will get r plus r into r minus r. How? If I take pi h common, I get r square minus r square, that is r minus r plus r. So we have got 22 by 7 into h. H is height is given 4. No, sorry. H is what we have to find out. We don't know the h. Yes, the height is what we have to find out. So we'll keep the h as it is. H into, now what is the outer radius? This radius was 3 by 2 and the outer radius r prime. Sorry, capital R we have taken r. It should 3 by 2 inner radius plus the width, that is 4. So 3 by 2 plus the 4 will give me the outer radius r. So if you calculate 4 2s are 8, 8 plus 11, 11 upon 2. So into, so this is 11 by 2 is the outer radius. Now r minus r and r plus r. So we have got r minus r is 11 by 2 minus 3 by 2, that is 11 minus 3 is 8. So 8 upon 2, that is 4. R plus r equal to 11 by 2 plus 3 by 2, that is 14 upon 2, that is 7. So we have got into 7 into 4. 7 and 7 got cut. So what do we have? 99 equal to 22 into h into 4. So h is equal to 99 upon 22 into 4. 2s are 9s are, or 9 upon 8 meter is the height of the embankment. If you divide it further, you will get 1.125 meter. So that will be the volume height of the embankment. So I hope you have understood this sum, digging the well and depositing it outside. The next question we have is a container shaped like a right circular cylinder. So this is the container having a diameter 12 centimeter and height 15 centimeter. Is full of ice cream. Okay, so what is the volume of ice cream in the cylinder? Let us calculate that first. But you should not do this, okay? You should first read the whole sum. The ice cream is to be filled into cones of height 12 centimeter and diameter 6 centimeter. So all this ice cream has to be filled in the cup with diameter 6 and height 12. All this ice cream has to be filled in the cone, having a hemispherical shape on the top. Find the number of cones which can be filled with the ice cream. So we have to find the numbers of cones we can fill with this ice cream. First we'll find the volume of ice cream in the cylinder. What is the formula for cylinder? Pi, I'll write capital R square H for the cylinder. Capital R, capital H. So we have got 22 by 7, or in this sum you can say I will not put the value of pi because in the end I have to just find the number of cones. So I'll keep it as it is. Pi. What is the R here? Diameter is 12. Diameter is given 12. I should write capital D diameter. So radius will be 6 centimeter. So into 6 into 6. The height is given 15 centimeter. So into 15. So 15 6 are 90, 96 are 540. So 540 pi is the volume of the ice cream in the cylinder. Now to fill the cones. So volume of cone is again pi r square h, the smaller one. I'll keep the pi as it is. Now in this case the smaller diameter d is 6. So radius is 3 centimeter. Height is 12. So pi into 3 into 3 into 12. 12 is a 36. 36 is a 108. 108 pi. So number of cones filled. What will be the number of cones filled? Will be the volume of cylinder upon volume of cone. So we have 540 pi upon 180 pi. 108, not 180, 108 pi. 1 is the 5. So 5 cones can be filled with all the ice cream in the cylinder. The next sum we have is how many silver coins 1.75 centimeter in diameter, thickness 2 millimeter must be melted to form a cuboid of this dimensions. So diameter of the coin is 1.75, or at 175 upon 100 centimeter is diameter. So the radius will be 175 upon 200, or 7 by 8 centimeter. That is the diameter or radius of the coin. The thickness of the coin or height of the coin is 2 millimeter, or 2 by 10 centimeter, or we'll write 1 by 5 centimeter. And the dimension of the cuboid are all in centimeters, so here we don't need to convert. Now I'll try to do this sum directly. Number of coins to be melted should be volume of the cuboid upon volume of coin. So volume of cuboid is 5.5, that is 55 upon 10 into 10 into 3.5, that is 35 upon 10. So should I write the formula first? Volume of cuboid is L into B into H upon pi r square H. This is taken H, so I'll call this H prime because the height is not the same. Upon pi, that is 22 upon 7 into r square, that is 7 by 8 into 7 by 8 into H. H is 1 upon 5. Now we get 55 upon 10 into 10 into 35 upon 10, and the denominator goes in numerator, we get the reciprocals into 7 upon 22 into 8 upon 7 into 8 upon 7 into 5. Let's start with the cutting part. The 10 and the 10 get cut. 5 ones are, 5 twos are, 2 ones are, 2 fours are, 7 and 7 get cut. 7 ones are, 7 fives are. I've got 4 twos are and 4 elevens are, 11 ones are, 11 fives are. So we've got 5 into 5 into 2 into 8. But 5 twos are 10, 5 eights are 40. So 10 into 40 is 400 coins. So 400 coins have to be melted to make a cuboid of this dimensions. The next one we have a cylindrical bucket. So what do we have? We'll try to draw it. A cylindrical bucket, 32 centimeter high, and a base radius 18 centimeter. Only the radius is given this time, r equal to 18 centimeter. It's filled with sand, so it is completely filled with sand. The bucket is filled with sand. Now it is emptied on the ground such that a conical heap is formed. So put the sand on the ground and you get a conical heap. Yes, you are getting a conical heap. The height of the conical heap, h, is 24. So let me write here, h of the cylinder is 32. Radius of the cylinder is 18 centimeter. Height of the conical heap, h prime, is 24 centimeter. We have to find the radius and the slant height of the heap. So you have to find the radius of the heap, the cone, and the slant height. Now since you are just emptying the cylinder outside into the heap, the volume of both should be the same. So we should have volume of cylinder, the cylinder bucket, equal to volume of conical heap. Volume of cylinder is pi r square h, and volume of conical heap is pi r prime square h prime. So the pi and the pi gets cut. So r is 18 into 18, h is 32. R prime we have to find, so I will keep r prime square as it is, and h prime is 24. Implies r prime square equal to 18 into 18 into 32 upon 24. So 6 3 the 6 4 the 4 1 the 4 8 the. So I get r prime square is equal to 3 into 3 into 2. 3 we got this, 3 6 are 18. 18 can be written as 3 into 2 into 3 into 2 into 4, that is 8. So if you take the square root r prime, if you take the square root, then this becomes 3, this is paired into 2, this 4 is paired into 2, but a root 3 remains in the end. This 3 is alone, so we'll have a root 3. So we got 3, 2 is 6, 6 is 12. So 12 root 3 is the radius of the conical heap. Okay, the radius of the conical heap. Okay, and the slant height we have to find out L prime square equal to r prime square plus h prime square. So what is r prime square? We got 12 root 3 the whole square. So 144 into 3. How much is that? We have to find out, because we have got this as 12 root 3 the whole square plus h prime square is 24 the whole square. 12 root 3 whole square is 144 into 3. It is 432 plus 24 square is 576. Now we have 6 plus 2 8 0 1008. Okay, so the square root of that will be, the square if you find out by factorization, it will be 36, sorry, not 36 but 12 root 7. I hope you know how to do the prime factorization. Okay, we'll not go in decimal, we'll write 12 root 7 centimeter. So just for the revision check how to do the prime factorization, we write 1008, 2 za, we got 504, 2 za, so we got 252, 2 za, 126, 2 za, 63, 3, 21, 3 and 7. So you will get 12 root 7 centimeter. That will be the slant height of the conical heap. Okay, now we have got a sum. Water in a canal 6 meter wide and 1.5 meter deep. So we have got a canal. Let me draw a canal which I can just show you. Try to figure out the canal. Water is flowing through this canal. Yes, water is flowing through this canal, which is 6 meter wide. So it is 6 meter wide and 1.5 meter deep. Okay, and water is flowing the speed of 10 km an hour. So first we'll convert the speed of water 10 km an hour. We have to convert. Why? We are given this in meter and we have to find irrigate in minutes. So we'll convert it into minutes. So 10 km is 10 into 1000 meter. 1 hour is 60 minutes. So we have 2 the 3, 500 the. So we've got 500 upon 3 meter per minute. Okay, this is the rate of the water flowing. Now the water is flowing for 30 minutes. Okay, so the water flowing is for 30 minutes and you have to fill this. So water flowing in this canal has to be filled in the field and the height of the field is 8 centimeter. The height of this field is 8 centimeter. So we got 0.08 meter, or we'll just write 8 upon 100 meter. We have to find out how much water is needed. So how much area will it irrigate? So water flowing from this canal at this rate will fill up this field. So since the height is given, we have to find out the area of this field. This is what we have to find out, the area of the field. Now what we have is already, what we'll find out first is the volume of water flowing. So volume of water flowing per minute, in 1 minute. So this canal is also cuboidal in shape. So we'll write capital L into capital B into capital H. That is equal to how much? 562500 meter cube. Sorry, meter square. This is the area which is irrigated. Okay, so that is the answer we have. Okay, in this sum we have a farmer connects a pipe of internal diameter 20 centimeter. The farmer has got a pipe of internal diameter 20 centimeter. 20. Okay, into a cylindrical tank that is 10 meter in diameter. So first we'll write about the tank. The tank has got diameter 10 meter. So the radius is 5 meter or 500 centimeter. Okay, and it is 2 meter deep. So height of the tank is 2 meter or 200 centimeter. Okay, so this is about the tank. The diameter is 10 meter, so radius is 5 meter or 500 centimeter, and the height is 200 centimeter. Okay, now the rate of water flowing through pipe. Rate of the water flowing through pipe is 3 kilometer per hour. Let us convert into centimeter per minute. So 3 kilometer I multiply by 1000 to convert into meter, into 100 becomes a centimeter, and 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 0 and 0 get cut, 3 ones are 3 twos are, 2 ones are 2 fives are. So 5000 centimeter per minute is the rate of water flowing through the pipe. Now volume of the water flowing through pipe will be the volume of the cylindrical tank, because it is flowing of same rate. So let us write volume of cylindrical tank. Let me find the volume of cylindrical tank is pi r square h. So it's pi into r, that is 500 centimeter, into 500 centimeter, into h, that is 200 centimeter. Calculate. How much do you get this? It's pi r square h. So 5 5s are 25, 25 2s are 50, so 50, 2 zeros, 2 zeros, 2 zeros. So 0 0 0 0 0 0 pi centimeter cube is the volume of the cylindrical tank. Now volume of water through pipe in 1 minute. In 1 minute. So now we're going for minute, we'll write pi r square h. So I kept pi as it is into r. Now the diameter is 20 centimeter. Small d is 20 centimeter. So radius will be 10 centimeter. So I get 10 into 10. And the height is 5000 centimeter per minute. This I am finding in 1 minute. So I can remove this here. 1 minute, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 4, 5 centimeter cube per minute. So what have we got from this? To fill centimeter cube takes 1 minute. So to fill this, to fill centimeter cube will take how many minutes? So cross multiply, you get, you forgot the pi, don't forget the pi, so pi upon 5. 5 gets cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ones the 500. So it will take 100 minutes to fill the tank. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Now the next topic we have is the frustum of a cone. Now what is the frustum of a cone? If you take a right circular cone, okay, this is a right circular cone we have, and remove a portion from it. Which portion? You can do it in so many ways, but here you have to take a special case. We want to cut the cone from the middle with a plane. Okay, if you do that, you cut the top part, you remove this top part, and what remains at the bottom is the frustum of a cone. So how you have to cut it? You have to cut the cone parallel to the base. This is the base. Cut the cone parallel to the base, remove the top cone, and what remains is the frustum of a cone. Frustum is a Latin word meaning piece cut off. So you can see here, this is a glass filled with water. Okay, the glass filled with water. If I extend it, then this is a huge conical shape, right? But when I cut this cone off, what remains here is the frustum. So frustum is also a very, very important shape. So when you cut up the cone, you will get the remaining part is the frustum. Now what can you see the parts of the frustum? Okay, so see the part of the frustum. I have drawn the whole cone. When you cut off the cone, you get a radius at the bottom, which is called the big R1. There is a radius on the top, which we call R2, and we have R1 greater than R2. Okay, then this is called the height of the frustum H, and this is called L. It is the slant height of the frustum. Now I have written the formula for you here. We'll try to derive this formula in the next lecture. But the volume of the frustum, only the blue part, you can see the blue color, is 1 by 3 pi h R1 square plus R2 square plus R1 R2. So in the cone you don't need the, for the volume you don't need the L. So you see here, H is only the height of the frustum, not of the whole cone. R1 is the radius of the base of the cone, and R2 was the radius of the top when it is cut off. Now the curved surface area of the frustum, only the curved surface, is pi R1 plus R2 into L. Remember, R2 is again the radius of the top, R1 is radius at the bottom, and L is only the slant height of the frustum, not the whole cone. How do you find the L? L is under root h square plus R1 minus R2 the whole square. And to find the total surface area of the frustum, you take this curved height at the bottom circle and at the top circle, and you get the total frustum of the cone. So L is found out by this formula. So we have to try out a sum based on the frustum. The radii of the ends of the frustum of a cone. So the diagram is shown here. Yes, this is the example in the book. The radii of the frustum. So this top part is actually a frustum. Remove the bottom cone. The height of the frustum h is given 45 centimeter. Okay, and the radii, the top radii, that is R1 equal to 28 centimeter and R2 equal to 7 centimeter. Where we saw R1 is greater than R2. We have to find the volume, curved surface area and total surface area just by putting up the formulae. If you don't remember the formulae, then you can just rewind the video and go back. So volume of frustum, we have the formulae 1 by 3 pi h into bracket R1 square plus R2 square plus R1 R2. We got 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 45 into R1 square is 7 square. So we have 7 square is 49 plus R2 square, that is 28 the whole square, 784 plus R1 into R2, that is 28 into 7, that is 196. So we have 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 45 into 49 plus 784 plus 196, that is 1029. Okay, so we put 3 ones are, 3 15s are, then 7 ones are, 7 147s are. So 147 into 15 into 22 should give us 48510 centimeter cube is the volume of the frustum. Okay, and how do we find out the curved surface area of the CSA of frustum? The formula for the CS of the frustum is pi R1 plus R2 into L. But what is L equal to? Under root h square plus R1 minus R2 the whole square. So h is 45. So 45 square is 2025 plus R2 minus R1 is 28 minus 7, that is 21. So we get 441. So 441 plus 2025 gives us 2466 under root. So L square is under root of 2466. So how much do we get? It's almost 49.65. So putting the formula we get 22 by 7. 28 plus 27 is 35 into approximate 49.65. 7 ones are 7 fives are. So we have got 49.65 into 110, that is 5461.5. That will be a, sorry, not here, I have to write it here. equal to 5461.5 centimeter square. So that is the curved surface area of the frustum. It is an approximate. Okay, fine. Okay. And the total will be how much? How do you find the total? Just add. I will not do it for you. Just add pi r1 square plus pi r2 square. You can add up the circles on the top and the bottom and get the total surface area of the frustum. Now we have another sum. A drinking glass in the shape of a frustum. So we have got a drinking glass in the shape of a frustum. The height is given 14. Diameter at the two ends are 4. So radius is 2 and this radius is 1. Find the capacity of the glass. So volume of glass is nothing but the volume of the frustum, whose formula is given by remember the formula given by 1 by 3 pi h r1 square plus r2 square plus r1 r2. We got 1 by 3 into 22 by 7. The height is 14. r1 square, the radius is 2, so 2 square is 4 plus r1 square is 1 plus r1 r2 is 2. So we get 1 by 3 into 22 by 7 into 14 into 4 plus 2 6 plus 1 7. So 7 and 7 get cut and we have 14 into 22 divided by 3. It's approximately 102.67 centimeter cube. This is approximately the volume of the glass. And the next one we have is the slant height of the frustum of a cone. So here we have L. The slant height is 4 centimeter and the perimeters of the circumference. So what is given here? The circumference here is 18 and the circumference here is 6. Now I'll call this C1. So C1 is 2 pi R1. So 18 equal to 2 pi R1. So R1 equal to 9 upon pi. C2 equal to 2 pi R2. So C2 is 6. So 2 pi R2. So R2 equal to 3 upon pi. See this carefully what I got R1 and R2 because we had the circumference and we are given the L. We have to find the CSA of frustum, curved surface area. What is the formula for the CS of a frustum? CS of a frustum is pi R1 plus R2 into L. Now the L is already given to us, we don't have to worry, so we'll write pi. R1 we got 9 upon pi, R2 we got 3 upon pi, L is given 4. So it is pi into 12 upon pi into 4. Pi and pi get cut, so 12 4s are 48. So 48 centimeter square is the curved surface area of the frustum. So today we did a few more sums on the combination of the volumes and we have started with the frustum of the cone looking at the formulae. The derivation of the formulae we'll do in the next lecture. I'm going to end here. Thank you.